Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the United States Bowling Congress Women's Championships Tournament. This is Aaron Smith and Matt Cannizzaro coming to you live behind lanes 19 and 20 at the Reno Sparks Convention Center. We're just finishing up practice and ready to see a very talented team of former collegiate players. Time of our life out of Saddlebrook, New Jersey. So practice is just wrapping up, so we'll get the lineups in just a minute. And a rundown of all the excitement that's taken place here at the RSCC in the past 24 hours. So thank you everyone for taking some time to join us on BowlTV. And we'll be ready to go in just a minute.
No flags while bowling lead. Brunswick, we are now ready to begin. Ladies, when you hear the sound of the bell, you can begin your competition. Good luck, good bowling, and have a wonderful day.
All right, with the sound of the bell, we are ready to begin 3 games here. Team of Time of Our Life getting ready to step up on lane 19. It's going to be led off by Kathleen Wiseman. She'll be followed by Nicole Toto, Erica Perez, and Lisa Friscioni. 3 out of the 4 of these ladies are NCAA national champions. Toto, Perez, and Friscioni all went to Fairleigh Dickinson University, claiming titles in the 2006 and 2010 national championships. Lisa was part of the 2006 team and the assistant coach in 2010, where she helped coach Perez and Toto to that title. Weissman with some experience on the collegiate level as well, coming out of New Jersey City University. They're joined on the lanes by, not sure if this is the full name or not, but Happy Feet and Flying out of Hanover Park, Illinois. Margaret Klaus, Jan Pritz up there right now, Nancy Unger, and Jean Rodkovich. So if any of you folks from Illinois perhaps know these ladies, put the word out on Facebook, on Twitter, let them know some bonus live stream coverage right here. We're all ready for 3 games here. As you can see, Diamond and Ruby on the scoreboard shows what division these ladies are competing in, so both going for different scores. And we'll get you that recap in just a little bit. Matt Cannizzaro, welcome. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing all right, sir. Very nice to be back on the air here, bringing some great women's bowling to the world here on BowlTV. Always nice to swing over to the RSCC while we have the chance, as the 2 events are headed in different directions. Very soon, the Women's Championships here in 2014, just a week away from its completion. Hard to believe that after 2 years, this great facility is going to be empty pretty soon. Scoreboards are going to be packed up, lanes are going to be dismantled, and we'll be moving on. Looking forward to 2015, but right now we've got a very exciting week planned here from the Reno Sparks Convention Center. A lot of talented ladies headed our way. Starting right now, as you mentioned, with Time of Our Life, and we've seen them regularly on the leaderboards here at the WC. We saw a couple of their former teammates earlier this year over at the Open Championships. That was Sarah Littoral and Jolie Carrillo, 2 very talented young ladies, bowled very well on our live stream, and now their teammates getting it done here across town. Looking forward to 3 exciting games, some big numbers on top of the leaderboards. Aaron Smith is the man with the notes as well, and he's also going to tell you a little bit about more of what we're going to see this week as we get ready for the USBC Queens, which will be coming to town June 27th to July 3rd over at the National Bowling Stadium. But until then, it's pretty much all about the WC and all those great players coming to town early, looking to see if they can get their names on the banners hanging over the lanes here.
Yes, ironically, the Team Scratch champion from 2013. Obviously, we had some shake-up with the format here at the WC for 2014, going from 5 to 4 player teams for the first time in tournament history, as well as going back to an all-scratch format and a few extra divisions as well. But bowling underneath the Eagles Edge Pro Shop banner, they posted the second highest team set in 94 years of 5-player competition on their way to the title. And for those ladies, they actually came back 4 out of 5. Tracy Lungsford is going to be hitting the lanes very shortly here at the RSCC. She prepares for Queens as well. But they took over the lead, and last night the Diamond team lead changed hands for the first time in more than a month, as Lucia's ladies out of Frisco, Texas came in here, put up a humongous second game on their way to a 26:51 total. So that is the number Time of Our Life is chasing now. The effort was led by Sandy Charles with 701, followed by Lisa Wasson and Tina Williams, both posting 682s. Jeannie Franklin 586 to get to that number, with games of 817, 983, nearly averaging 250 a person in game 2, and finishing up with 851. Here's a look at Perez up on 20. As mentioned, she was part of the 2010 NCAA National Championship team with FDU. It was also the 2009-2010 NEC Player of the Year, and was a part of this Time of Our Life team with Lisa back in 2012. Put up a big number at the National Bowling Stadium, 32-82. Take the lead. The scratch portion of the event, they ended up 6th when it was all said and done, but only 20 pins off the winning total. Very close competition in the team event in 2012. Coefficient of friction was able to sneak by and post the only 3,300 of the year to claim that title. But these ladies kind of jumped on the scene right there at the Women's Championship and have been a force to be reckoned with ever since.
Kind of like Aaron Smith has become a force to be reckoned with in the live stream booth. And behind the camera, actually just got done telling the Waz about your behind the camera exploits this week at the Open Championships, and how far you've come in your professional role. That he asked me about the experience of being down in the pits for a record run at the OC, and if everybody was scoreboard watching. I told him that none of us had any idea until you showed up with the camera. So luckily for you paying attention.
Well, luckily I didn't leave at 6:30.
Also a fact.
And yes, if anything does go wrong today, I put up the whole live stream setup. So please send complaints to aaron.smith@bowl.com. But if it works flawlessly, please let Terry Bigham know, among others. All right, here's Wiseman in the third, looking to make it 3 in a row to start. Looks like a Rotogrip Hypercell takes care of business. Shot a little bit wide for Perez, but leaves a very makeable 1-2 on this 41-foot oil pattern that we're using for the 2014 Women's Championships this year. Already had 3 300s this year, including one just the other day. Anna Green of Tacoma, Washington. Had watched a few folks make runs at perfection here at the Women's Championships, including Krishna Howard back in 2010 on her way to the Diamond and Scratch singles titles. Rolled her first career 300 right here in the championship lanes. A fantastic accomplishment. Congrats, Anna. No, she was very excited about that last game of doubles. Nice shot by Lisa there, leave with a 10 pin. Has been a common theme in some of our live streams from the RSCC. A lot of ways to get to the pocket, but having all 10 pins cooperate, especially in the corners, it seems, is the key to get a place up top of the standings. Friscioni was a part of the 2006 NCAA National Championship team with FDU. Was named the MVP of that tournament. After she wrapped up her collegiate career, she has continued to help the program, serving as assistant coach. So I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of communication out there. The collegiate aspect of competing and working as a team plays so well to both the Open and the Women's Championships. And I'm sure a group like this will be one that'll be around for quite a while, putting up big numbers here at the WC. The 7 pin does not cooperate there. Threw everything at it but the kitchen sink. Does not fall for Kathleen though. Looks like a Motive Venom Shock in Toto's hands. Does not find the results she was looking for there, leaving the 4-6-7. Nice cover by Pritz. She's clean after an open in the first. Nancy takes care of all 10 there for Happy Feet and Flying. For those of you wondering about the division structure this year, as mentioned earlier, time of our life and competing in Diamond Division for Team Happy Feet and Flying the Ruby. Now up to 4 team divisions here at the Women's Championships. For Diamond teams, their combined entering averages are 725 and above. Ruby 650 to 724. Emerald, the new division this year, 575 to 649, and Sapphire 574 and below. So the Women's Championships offering divisions for everybody here, giving all folks a chance to take home some of that prize money and maybe even a national title when it's all said and done. Double, singles, and all events, we've expanded from 3 to 6 divisions this year. So be sure to check out the changes as the tournament moves across the street to the National Bowling Stadium in 2015. Nice mixer for Jan Pritz. Like in lane 20. Great shot by Perez there in the 5th to make it a double. Once again, we want to thank everyone for taking some time out on their Sunday afternoon. According to the world of Facebook and Twitter, the World Cup is going on and the USA is playing, so hopefully folks got their TVs turned on watching that and the computers set up right next to it. Checking out BowlTV. Friscioni makes it 4 out of 5 to kick off her 2014 event. Quite a few strikes up there so far. Early on for Time of Our Life, once again, the new score posted last night. 26-51 is what they're chasing. Luscious Ladies out of Frisco, Texas, posting that 24 hours ago. Jean takes care of the spare on 20. the light hits working for time of our life. Wiseman makes it 4 out of 6 to start. Once again, we're going to have a action-packed week here from the Reno Sparks Convention Center, as the top female bowlers in the country and the world start making their way to the biggest little city, as the USBC Queens and Senior Queens will be in town June 27th to July 3rd at the 78 Lane National Bowling Stadium. So a great opportunity for these ladies to come out, not only get some chance to get some games in, and but also an opportunity to take home some prize money and a chance at a national title. Lisa continues to lead the way here. Five out of 6 in a fantastic start so far. A few opens early on, but the strikes adding up, erasing those miscues early and often.
Mr. Smith, glad to see you so prepared for today's broadcast. I know you always do your homework and have piles and piles of notes available for all of these fantastic live streams from the Women's Championships. And I was glad to make it over here. We had some excitement at the OC today, followed by the Boulder Show. Of course, it's Sunday afternoon. There were some folks over at the NBS trying to keep me from coming here today, but luckily, we made it. Aaron's giving me a look. He heard the song of the day in the background. It's Patience by Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I did notice that. I was
sometimes we like to rock out here in the live stream booth.
I was wondering where that was coming from. I was frightened for a second there. The simple whistle of Axl Rose here at the RSCC. George Palumbo stopping by to say hi in the chat room. Do we ever sleep, Matt?
He's funny because he really has no idea. We didn't get to talk too much about the festivities the other night, but George Palumbo, part of the team that set the team game record at the Open Championships on Friday, 13-18. The first time the 1300 barrier has been broken on the tournament lanes. That's 111 years of tournament history, and I was fortunate enough to be on the pair of lanes as it was happening. I was one of 2 left-handers on the companion team, watching George and his Turbo Grips teammates get it done. A lot of strikes being thrown, and then Kent Wagner and I actually bowled doubles and singles immediately after the team event. Got done about 2:30 in the morning with everything, and immediately started working on the story that Aaron Smith had prepared about the record score. Got that posted and sent to the world as a news release, and I got out there just in time to get home and get changed and have some breakfast and come on back for the live stream that we did yesterday with Zeke Bate and George Palumbo and the rest of the guys for doubles and singles. So we actually didn't sleep, and it was awesome. Probably one of the best nights. And I think a lot of our stories involve not getting to sleep at all, but in a professional kind of way, not in a rowdy college guy kind of way. A couple other events like Matt McNeil, for example, doing some things that he's done on the championship lanes have kept us up till at least the sun, and wouldn't have it any other way. That's all going in the memoir. So Mr. Palumbo, thanks for stopping by, and someday when that book gets published, your name will be in there. Don't worry, Aaron, yours will be as well.
I don't know if I want it to be after all the inside information you got on me over these years. So.
Well, it'll be the USBC Matt Canizaro memoirs, not the nights and weekends and not while we're wearing ties memoirs. That'll be something completely different.
What's not completely different is the performance we're seeing time of our life. They're do not look intimidated at all by that new score put up yesterday. Put themselves in a very good position to make a run here.
Well, they've certainly flirted with the leaderboards in the past, and they have the accolades, the resumes to certainly back it up. And of course, that number increased yesterday. It doesn't sound all that intimidating, but remember, with 4-player teams now, the dynamics here at the Women's Championships have changed. Very well received, as a matter of fact, going to 4-player teams like many local and state tournaments. Certainly makes travel and hotel accommodations much easier, as well as potentially a rental car. And of course, as we saw last night with Lush's ladies, the team's namesake, Leisha Murr, was the 5th member of that group who, well, must participate elsewhere based on the new format. But should their team name end up on the banner, she will be part of that win in spirit.
Yes, it's kind of funny. You just talked about the record score over at the Open. Kind of hard to judge where the numbers will be at when it's all said and done. Since this is the first year of 4-player teams and all the new divisions as well, kind of cool that every winning score will be a record at least for a year.
Well, I know we talked to the Eagles Edge folks quite a bit since their big win last year, and they did point out that they will be the last 5-player winning team at the Women's Championships. 33-57, big number. They got the title, they got the banner. They've been dominant here over the recent years, and again, nearly added to their legacy here in 2014 as the first 4-player winning team. Held on for quite a few weeks before last night's big score. But I don't think we've seen the last of Eagles Edge Pro Shop either.
Certainly agree with you there, Matt. Joey Biondo still on top of the Division I all event standings at 2074. We'll see if that gets challenged or not the upcoming days. I'm sure it'll be a scary week to wait out for the folks ahead in Division I especially. That's all part of the excitement of moving into the top spot, is seeing if you can hold on. And
well, that's part of the excitement if you hold on to win. I know we got that feedback from Eric Vermilia, who was a leader at the OC back in 2010. Came up just short, finished second in doubles, and next time around they took the lead and ended up winning. And he said that second time around it was just a lot easier. You weren't necessarily feeling the same way, haven't been there so close before. But I don't know if that story would have been quite the same had they got beaten out in team all events, but who knows?
Well, it's always interesting, since I talked to a lot of our 50-year participants and getting ready for the next year, talking to folks who've made 49 tournaments, and it amazes me the close calls that they can that they bring up so vividly for someone who's been competing at these events for so long, had the chance to travel the United States, meet a bunch of great people along the way, and just the those close calls, even if it's just once. Maybe you used the word flirted earlier. I'll use it again. Flirted with the leaderboard in the top of the standings, and you know, some folks may fall short of taking home that title. That's still a memorable experience, and like I said, it's always cool to hear the story of the almost stories.
Well, we talk about it a lot, of course, and I talked about it this morning with the amount of prize money and different things, and even scores after so many years. Those probably aren't the things you're going to remember. And we get a lot of inquiries about what place did I finish in this year, what was my score that year. You know, most bowlers, especially with longer careers, have tons of great stories, and it's often more about the overall experience of what's happening out there. And again, with what happened this past Friday, and you know, someday that score is going to get beat possibly, and it no longer will be a record, but it's something that those 5 guys or those 10 guys shared together. It's an experience, and no doubt that when it's time for Zeke Bates to talk about his 50th Open Championships experience, he'll remember, of course, the winning an Eagle in his second tournament and setting a record in his third one, but he might forget those numbers and some of the details. But that's something, you know, that you can't forget the feelings, I guess, involved in those things.
Lisa bounces back nicely after the washout in the 8th. She still has 240 out there. These ladies look like they'll be on their way to being well over the 800 mark here in the opener. Certainly one of the unique elements of the 4-player teams is if one person is struggling, it's a little bit tougher to make up that big number that you're chasing, unless everyone else is really bowling out of their minds. Whereas in the past with 5 players, it was a little, could pick up that 5th person a little bit better, but these ladies certainly doing all right here in the opener. Margaret Kloss of Happy Feet and Flying already finished. 144 in the books. As Kathleen Wiseman gets ready to step up on 20, she still has 240s out there.
Curious about the lane condition these ladies are bowling on right now, you can visit bowl.com, go to the Women's Championships page and click on the information tab. You'll be able to see some colorful graphs giving you an idea of what this year's lane condition looks like. Just one pattern here at the Women's Championships compared to two across town at the OC. And again, all of that can be found on bowl.com. The WC with its own page, all the great details, news, and notes. And of course, don't forget to find us on our official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page, where all the not quite so newsy news ends up. And I think that's our best vehicle for getting the word out, to be honest with you, Mr. Smith. And we saw that the other night. We posted a scoreboard pic of the record game, and within a couple of hours, 85,000 people had seen it.
That's pretty awesome. Social media is certainly the wave of the future.
It's going to catch on, and perhaps time of our life. Saddlebrook, New Jersey will give us something to post on there as well. But Aaron's got his eyes down on lanes 11 and 12. A lot of strikes being thrown down there as well. So we'll keep our eye on professional amateurs, it looks like, from Anderson, Indiana.
Joanna Brooks is running 279. Missed on the second shot of the 10th, though. She's in the 260s to kick off her 2014 event. 221 for Kathleen in the books. Nicole took care of the first shot already. Looking to make it 3 in a row here. A little right on that shot, leaves the washout. Still bounced back nicely after a few opens early on there. She takes 2 of them to finish up at 196. Here is Perez working on a spare. Trying to come across the deck, does not connect though with the 10.
Aaron, nice little crowd gathering online today. We do appreciate everybody stopping by on this Sunday afternoon. We're here live at the Reno Sparks Convention Center watching the 2014 USBC Women's Championships. And if you love women's bowling and the Women's Championships, this week is for you. This is the first of 5 broadcasts from the RSCC as the top ladies come to town, getting ready for the USBC Queens and Senior Queens. So we'll be here just about every day this week, if not, bringing some great action the rest of the way. as the Women's Championships winds down here in 2014. Again, coming up on the 24th, another solid team contender. Some strike it hot from Albuquerque, New Mexico. They won Diamond Team in 2012. Finished second last year, also third in Scratch Team. So always looking forward to their appearance. And then on the 25th, that's Deandra Asbady coming into town, and she's the 2012 Queens champion, and very talented group that includes Paola Gomez and Rachel Giddings. So looking forward to that. Again, team event, then doubles and singles on back-to-back days. 2013 Diamond Singles and Diamond All Events winner Christine Gill, followed by 2013 Scratch All Events champion Rocio Restrepo. And again, they'll all be on BowlTV all week long. So check bowl.com for times and events, and we'll be here. Hope to see you there. Right now, we're going to watch Time of Our Life of Saddlebrook, New Jersey. Wrap up game number 1 here in the afternoon team event.
Lisa connects on the first shot of the 10th. Can add another 30 on top, so they would be in the 840s. With 2 more strikes. Once again, these 4 ladies all have collegiate experience on the NCAA level. Toto, Perez, and Friscioni, all national champions at Fairleigh Dickinson University. Lisa now the assistant coach over there.
Well, Aaron, I think it's been pretty consistent at both major national tournaments this year, just how important all of that college bowling and all of the training grounds that these players have has really come into play as they work their way through the ranks. From now high school bowling, the fastest growing varsity sport, to the collegiate ranks, especially the NCAA folks, and then of course Junior Gold, Junior Team USA, and all the challenging lane conditions they see along the way. And it really has them prepared for success on the big stage. And I know we both had the opportunity to cover some NCAA bowling in recent years here on BowlTV, and have seen some of those programs really grow from just starting out to powerhouses. We saw that, of course, with Sam Houston State University, just a few years in existence, and recently claiming that national championship. Pretty amazing just to see the support at the schools, and that these young ladies have something now to strive for as far as college bowling, and of course the educational part of it. And it makes them incredibly prepared to come out and bowl in events like the Women's Championships.
Happy Feet and Flying off to a strong start here in game 2. 2 for 2 after 6:41 in the opener. Once again, these ladies competing in different divisions here. Time of Our Life. All right. Shouldn't say didn't bring a companion team, but one of the unique aspects of the change from 5 to 4 players, and we talked about before, we'll talk about again this week, is just making it easier to put a single team together and not worry about having someone miss out on team or doubles and singles. But a lot of folks here at the Women's Championships not necessarily as concerned about breaking down the pattern like it is at the Open. It's more about the experience of getting to meet new people and getting to exchange gifts. We see that a lot out here. A lot of folks will actually bring multiple teams, but will request not to bowl with those folks so they can go out and meet new folks from all over the country. So certainly a different feel here from time to time at the WC.
Yeah, we do hear those stories quite a bit and teams travel from all over the country, and some teams are very excited about meeting new people, and they share a lot of knickknacks and such out here. They bring things from where they come from, some sort of giveaway, so that they'll be remembered by their new friends and possibly even see them again on the lanes next year. Because as much as it is a competition, it's also a nice social environment and a lot of camaraderie, and very proud teams, proud of where they come from, and excited to meet people from all over the country and the world even, as all 50 states and several foreign countries represented annually here at the WC.
Looks like Perez is going to stick with the ball change she made on the fill ball. Looks like a deviate diva pearl. Goes in a bit high, leaves the 4. Lisa kicks off game 2 with a strike. Looks like a polished roto grip disturbed in her hands here at the RSCC today. Worked well in the opener, 240. Sure she would like that 8th frame back, leaving the washout, but other than that, near perfect performance. Struck on 10 of her 12 deliveries in game 1. Wiseman makes it a double. Taking advantage of the light hit so far. Shots like that also help. Never a doubt, 10 back for Nicole Toto. Jan Pritz joining the fun as well. Early double here in game 2. Good shot, but a tough break for Erica Perez, leaving the solid nickel. Spun it around, but did not tip over. Yesterday, as I took over the Diamond team lead, game 2 was where Lush's ladies really made their move after 817 in the opener, 983. Arguably with the new format this year, the highest team game in women's championships four-player history. They used games of 266, 258, 258, and 201 to get there. So a phenomenal effort. They stayed strong in game 3. Although they had 2 opens in the 10th frame, still got to the leading total, 26-51. Pretty good looking scoreboard through 2. 3 out of 4 each frame.
Things certainly do move along quite a bit faster here at the WC with the 4-player teams already. We're nearing the middle of game number 2. With a few strikes up there, and of course the 4 players. It's almost faster to bowl than it is to set things up. But luckily, we'll be back all week, so you can check out a couple team events, some doubles and singles. And if there's any excitement and big numbers, you can read all about it on bowl.com. As timely as possible, of course.
Really a time of our life, would like one of those timely articles when it's all said and done here today. Ha, see what I did there? High for Nicole there in the 3rd frame. Fast 8. Well, Matt, I just went to go check Twitter, as both you and I are now members of that large universe, at USBC Matt, at USBC Aaron. Just got followed by Division II all events leader Mallory Nutting. Said she was tuning in, excited about the wait. Just a few more days for her, hoping to hold on to that all events lead. So, Mallory, thanks for tuning in and keeping up with us. Messenger unable to get to 10 for Lisa there. She takes care of the spare, no problem. Time of our life, clean through 3. Happy Feet and Flying also putting up a nice performance so far. Early on in game 2 after 6:41 in the opener. Nice shot by Margaret there. The 10 pin does not cooperate. Here's Kathleen Wiseman up on 19. Fantastic shot. Back to her striking ways. 2-21 in the opener for her. 3 out of 4 to start game 2. We have a moment. We want to thank everyone for taking some time out to watch us live here on BowlTV from the USBC Women's Championships. As we mentioned, an exciting week ahead of us here at the RSCC, followed by the USBC Queens and Senior Queens starting June 27th, going until July 3rd. So BowlTV will be the place to be for the next few weeks. So be sure to subscribe to our channel to get notifications and all the latest and greatest offered by USBC on BowlTV. As Perez connects for her first strike of game 2. And be sure to follow us on Facebook. The Sport of Bowling is at facebook.com/USBC, on Twitter, twitter.com/USBC, and of course, for all the information you could ever need and more, bowl.com. Matt, I see you're looking intently at the site right now.
Of course, there's tons of great news and spectacular pictures from the Open and Women's Championships. Just keeping an eye on things. Posted some news earlier today on the Facebook. And Lisa Friscioni certainly trying to get her name up in lights as well. With another great strike. That's a team 4-bagger. 4 spares in the 3rd frame, 4 strikes in the 4th frame. And all clean through 4 here in game number 2. It's going to take some big numbers, and they're well on their way. Appreciate everybody stopping by and saying hello in the chat room. Again, we saw George Palumbo stop by earlier, and now James Puster from the Bowler Show. Talked to him last week as the Waz was on the road. A lot of faithful supporters. I ran into a couple earlier today. Some first-timers even who said they've tuned in and watched some of our broadcasts, and they find it very helpful just to get some of the insight. I know that's hard to believe that we've said anything insightful, but also the opportunity to see where these players are playing the lanes and what they're throwing, and just a chance to see some ball motion. So we appreciate all of the support and the regular viewership. If nobody was watching, then we'd just be talking to each other, and well, I spent enough time talking to Aaron, so I appreciate everybody else being around as well.
That's true. Speaking of our loyal viewers, ran into a gentleman yesterday when we were watching a very talented group of Wichita bowlers at the Open Championships. Casey Slaughter put up a 299 in his first game and had the folks watching that intently. A stuffed 9-pin on his final offering, but ran into a gentleman by the name of Mike Sullivan, who recognized me, asked, or made sure that I was the right guy. I wasn't wearing my name tag at the time. He didn't want to confuse you and I, apparently. But he said always tunes in. Obviously, he's in Rio now. He's going to be bowling the next few days. But he actually said, I guess they have a practice session downstairs at the track showcase lanes at the National Bowling Stadium. He's going to go up to the track booth afterwards. He's going to get a towel, BowlTV and track towel from up there. He said, have the Sharpie ready, Matt Cannizzaro. So still looking for that first autograph. We may get it. Oh, tough break there for Kathleen. Great shot. Stuff 8. Problem on the spare, though. Pins keep falling for Toto. Just the 2-pin. She did not get the Walter Ray Senior Masters carry to cave in the 245 to lock up the title against Jack Jurek. Unbelievable moment caught live on BowlTV, brought to you by Lucas Wiseman in Las Vegas just a few weeks ago. So if you didn't get a chance to see that, be sure to check out the archive of the stepladder final at the Senior Masters. If you want to see Walter Ray win a title in a way he never has before. That's tough to do after 47 PBA titles and regionals and PBA 50 and everything else that he's accomplished. Fantastic shot by Perez. That ball chain seems to be working out. Spin around the pocket. All of game 2 here. Now she's starting to get the hits. 192 in the opener for Perez. And 240 for this young lady, stepping up on 20. Make it 4 out of 5 for Friscioni.
No doubt these players are comfortable under the TV lights, so to speak, having won NCAA championships on the real big stage, but here we are in the biggest stage in women's bowling. All of the pressures of BowlTV, but you can't tell from here. Polished veterans, young and looking to add to their own personal legacies and establish themselves here at the WC. There's a nice break, leaving just the 610 for Wiseman. Still clean, and we're in the 6th frame here in game 2 of today's 4 p.m. team event. Time winding down. The WC kicked off April 11th. This year's run will be just under 90 days, wrapping up on June 30th. So 1 week from tomorrow, potentially, we'll be calling some champions.
In years past, we've had the women's championships alongside the USBC Queens and the U.S. Women's Open, so there's always kind of been that time frame where everyone comes in. Usually in the past it's been early in the event, or earlier in the event I should say. But this year everything coming down to the final week, so it's going to be exciting. So be sure to tune in BowlTV. Keep an eye on bowl.com and as well as the official Facebook page for the championship tournaments.
Well, I think Eric Pearson and the crew like to keep us on our toes again, as you mentioned. Queens Week traditionally has been when all of the top players come to town, and rather than having to make the trip twice, they take advantage of being here and compete in the women's championships leading into the Queens. Certainly a good warm-up for that event. Last year, the Queens moved to Las Vegas over Labor Day weekend. So a lot of the players either came at different times or took the year off from the women's championships, and now the opportunity to come back. Some have already been to town. They came in with other groups for the Open Championships. And some are going to try to do everything all in 1 week. I know I've talked to Gina Darashevsky, for example, who typically bowls with Wendy McPherson, Carol Giannotti, all very familiar names, and they're planning on doing back-to-back at the 2 national events and then being around for the Queens. So a lot that you can do in just one trip. And next year, shaking up the schedule again. So the Queens is going to move to Green Bay. And then, of course, the women's championships will be in Reno at the National Bowling Stadium alongside the new USBC mixed event. So if you got husbands or friends and you want to come compete in both events, there's another twofer opportunity in the same great divisions and format. We'll have the chance for all those supportive guys to get out there and bowl while they're in town. There's quite a few next to us up in the stands here, and we should remind them that next year they should bring their bowling equipment along. They can throw their 9 games too.
Of course, all that excitement leading ahead to 2016 as well, as the new bowling arena at South Point will open its doors and host the 2016 USBC Women's Championships as well as a USBC Mixed. So that'll be the first opportunity for a lot of folks to see that brand new facility being constructed as we speak. There's the first Open for Time of Our Life. Lisa unable to convert the 2-4-10.
All right, Superior fan, thanks for stopping by today, and have a nice afternoon. We appreciate everybody tuning in here. Let's do our best at keeping things appropriate in the chat room.
Just the 5-pin there for Kathleen. Almost left the Aaron Smith.
Ha!
Took care of the 4-pin though, so. not a problem on the 5-pin. As Kathleen stays clean. I believe she was clean in the opener as well. Mixer for Nicole. Ends a string of 2 straight spares. We're already in the 7th frame here. Time moving quickly for Time of Our Life. Saddlebrook, New Jersey. Once again, all these ladies competed at the collegiate level for NCAA programs. It's a trip 4 for Perez, makes it 4 in a row. Lisa Friscioni was a member of the 2006 NCAA National Championship team with Fairleigh Dickinson. And then she went on to start helping coach. She's the assistant coach for the team. In 2010, she helped coach Perez and Toto to the national title as well. So Wiseman got to spend some time at New Jersey City University. So these ladies very familiar with the team atmosphere, as well as a chance to put on a show. Really put on a very solid performance overall today. Nice shot by Jean Bratkovich. Put together a nice game 2 here after 166 in the opener for Happy Feet and Flying out of Hanover Park, Illinois.
Aaron, it looks like soccer's over for today, so we should have some more viewers tuning in now. BowlTV is the place to be.
All right, getting ready for the 8th frame here for Time of Our Life. Looks like we have a ball change maybe for Kathleen, going to that Motive Venom Shock. Same ball that Nicole Toto is using. Light mixer doesn't carry, leaves the 7. Tough break there for Jan Pritz. Working on a clean game. Pocket 7-10. Another light hit for Toto carries. Playing a little more direct than some of her teammates. is Erica Perez, the 2009-2010 NEC Player of the Year. Looking to make it 5 in a row.
Nice shot. Certainly got that light mixer down pat there.
It's been hitting well here for these ladies over the past 2 years. When we've seen a lot of folks get to the pocket here. We've seen a lot of corner pins to go along with that. These ladies are getting it done with the light mixer and great shots like that from Friscioni. Bouncing back after the 2-4-10 on that lane in the 6th. Really is an unbelievable facility here at the RSCC. Craig Moore and his team always do a fantastic job of creating the premier locations for bowling events like this, and I'm sure the folks next year at the 2015 USBC Open Championships in El Paso, Texas will be treated to a one-of-a-kind facility, similar to what these ladies have gotten to bowl on the past 2 years here in South Arena. Of course, the 2015 Women's Championships heads a few miles north to the National Bowling Stadium. Registration already open for 2015, so be sure to get your times in. Some added incentives for registering early, especially if you're looking forward to the 2016 event in Las Vegas, Nevada. You can secure your dates, so be sure to get yourself and a few other ladies together, get your team ready. Because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, unless it ends up on bowl.com.
That's funny. See what you did there. And you're absolutely right. We anticipate Vegas being a big event, especially with the new venue down at South Point, and the fact that the WC hasn't been there since 1983. We saw it with the Open Championships going there for the first time in 2009 after more than a couple decades, and near record numbers. So again, if you sign up early and bowl in 2015, you are guaranteed your times and dates within a certain window for 2016, as it will be a hot commodity when registration opens for that event. Great shot there by Toto for the 3-bagger. She pulls the string. Now Perez looking to continue her string here up on lane 20.
Asking for that ball to push, does not. 4-6-7 in the foundation frame. Ends her string of strikes at 5. She takes the 2 for the team, nearly kicks one of the pins out. Just a second open for time of our life here in game 2. Still 233 out there for Perez with a Big Ten frame. Friscioni looking to pick her up here. Working on 2 strikes in a row of her own. Good shot, 10-pin stands for Lisa. No problem on the spare as we get ready for the 10th frame here in game 2. Thanks again to everyone for joining us. By my math, works a little differently here, the scoring system and how much can be added on. Still see 170 out there for time of our life on top of the 747 they already have. And get them near 920 with a very big 10th frame here. So it'll be up to Kathleen Wiseman to kick it off here. Matt, we've talked about this a lot over the course of the year, the importance of the leadoff bowler to start a 10th frame just like that. We saw George Palumbo do that with a big double in that record team game just the other night.
Well, we've had the opportunity to work alongside perhaps one of the greatest leadoff bowlers of all time, Emil Williams Jr.
The now 30-year-old Emil Williams Jr.
Well,
I gotta give him a hard time because he's much older than I am now. He split on the second shot of the 10th. Better than the first shot in the 10th, I suppose. She'll take the 2 for the team. Finish up at 203. Toto comes in a bit light, leaving the 2-5. That light hit had been working for her, and that one just a little bit further right than the past few offerings. Take care of the spare though. There's a chance to get to 225.
Not a bad performance so far from Time of Our Life. Certainly not strangers to success. And nearly clean here in game number 2. Just a couple of dashes up there on the scoreboard. And they are going to need to string quite a few strikes in game number 3 to make their move here at the WC in 2014. Once again, Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith live at the Reno Sparks Convention Center. Ladies bowling all week long. As we wrap things up on BowlTV over at the Open Championships, it's all about the ladies now for the rest of the month. 5 broadcasts here, followed by the USBC Queens live finals on July 3rd. So check your local listings, and we'll have daily coverage on bowl.com. Lucas Wiseman headed our way. Matt Lawson will be in town as well, capturing everything on video for you. Gonna be an exciting couple weeks here in Reno.
So with Lucas in town, that means we get the week off, right?
Precisely, of course.
All right, 223 for Perez. So add another 40, so they'll could be at 873. So this will need a big finish in the finale here to get to that 2651, but see if Friscioni can get him a little bit closer there. Gets the first one. Late hit on the 9 to get her into the 220s with solid count. So these ladies getting stronger through 2. For an 872 overall performance for Time of Our Life. Happy Feet and Flying 628. So these ladies will need 930 in the final game for a share of the lead, a 232 average among the 4 of them. They'll need some hits like that to fall if they want to get up there. 7-pin stands. Perez unable to convert the washout here in the first frame. .232 per lady, a big number out here. We've seen a few other teams put together nice final games here, including our teams currently sitting in second and third. Eagles Edge Pro Shop and Vice interchangeable thumbs. Saw that right here live on BowlTV about a month ago. As Eagles Edge moved into the lead. As we mentioned before, they got knocked off just 24 hours ago. And Time of Our Life looking to, are hoping to do the same. Find themselves at the top of the standings when they're at the end of this game. 9:30 though. Gonna need some strikes.
Certainly a big number. And again, this is bowling's biggest stage for women. You would expect nothing less. Gotta throw the big shots. And certainly that's what our folks from Texas did yesterday in taking the team lead and raising the bar. Looking forward to seeing the drama unfold this week as some of the top players come to town. Just while we have an opportunity, quick shout out to some folks in the chat room as well. Our good buddy Gene Quidley stopping by to watch some women's bowling. Got an opportunity to present him with his 25-year plaque at the Open Championships. Certainly was an honor for us. We appreciate all of our longtime bowlers and their dedication, and any chance to recognize them and thank them. Obviously, if it wasn't for all of those dedicated folks, captains, bowlers, you name it, we probably wouldn't be sitting here right now and able to bring this to you. So thank you for stopping by today. And question concerning the lane condition. If you'd like to take a look at the graph of the pattern here at the Women's Championships, you can visit bowl.com, find the Women's Championships page, and under the information tab, you can find a couple of different looks at this year's pattern.
Shot held line for Wiseman there. Her and Perez have balled down, gone to something a little less aggressive to more or less stay in the same part of the lane. Toto and Friscioni really look like they haven't moved too much so far. Got a question about what teams we will be highlighting the next week. Starting on Tuesday, we have the 2012 Diamond Team winners, and they finished runner-up in that event in 2013, also third in scratch in 2013. Some Strike It Hot out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. A few times we've seen a single pin miss from these ladies. That might be the first one all day. Toto unable to convert the 4-pin. Then on Wednesday we will see Deandra Asbady and her very talented team take to the lanes here, and then on Thursday and Friday we'll be showcasing doubles and singles. Thursday will feature the 2013 Diamond Singles and All Events champion Christine Gill. And finally on Friday, 2013 Scratch All Events champion with a near record performance of 22.74 on her way to the title, which included a perfect game. It was then just the 20th ever in the history of the event. We're up to 23 now. Rocio Restrepo. Rocio's already been in town for the USBC Open Championships. Her team put on quite a performance. Very talented group overall. Higgy's crew, if you will. Double for Wiseman. They'll need a few more just like that here. 930 once again the number they're striving for a share of the Diamond Team Lead. Currently held by Luscious Ladies out of Frisco, Texas. Cole bounces back after the single pin miss in the second. You don't have to make them if you throw shots like that.
That's right, sir. And we tell people if you're not going to make it, don't leave it. I think one of our guys was having trouble, he said, with some spares, and it was uncharacteristic. His timing felt off, and I was like, pretty simple strategy. If you're having trouble with your spares, just make sure you strike, and you don't have to worry about it. It didn't work necessarily, but it's a great idea on paper.
Of course. The best laid plans of mice and men, right?
And always a great opportunity to reach out and talk to people. Just had a quick conversation here with Andy Bunkowski, who is one of the few not so patiently waiting for the end of this year's events. They can't get here fast enough. July 13th at the Open Championships, June 30th here at the Women's Championships. I can't say that I know what it feels like being on top of the leaderboards and having to wait, but certainly knowing some of those people so well, it's torturous and exciting all at the same time. Last year we talked about it with John Gaines and Vernon Peterson. Talked to those guys daily. I know we had a lot of close calls at the Open Championships here this week, and second place doubles today. A couple guys had a shot at all events. Team all events was a possibility in the last few days as well. And of course here at the WC, no lead is safe here either. And Luscious Ladies talked about the week coming up and some of the great players headed this way, and they feel good about their score. But pretty sure that they were wishing it was a couple years back when all those players had been through months ago.
Finished with the third frame here. Just a rundown of what these ladies are at after two. Lisa Friscioni, 462 leading the way. Kathleen Wiseman, 424. Nicole Toto, 420. And Erica Perez, 415 for time of our life. So a very consistent effort all around. As they chase the Diamond Team lead. 26-51. open for Wiseman there in the fourth. Might have been her first one all day. So these ladies are going to need to start putting some X's on the board here soon. As the Kegel fire oil used here at the Women's Championships starts to transition a little bit here in Game 3. The frames certainly do go fast. Back-to-back opens. They really have to buckle down here. Go back to that collegiate experience they all shared and get things back on track here.
Certainly not a lot of room. We're nearly halfway through game number 3. 9:30 is a tall number. Good shot there by Perez, but a little bit high, leaves the 4-pin. And normally at the OC we'd say, of course, get all you can to get a head start towards team all events. A little bit different here at the Women's Championships. But with this same pattern out tomorrow for doubles and singles, perhaps an opportunity here too to just get a look at the pattern as it transitions and get some ideas for doubles and singles.
I believe these ladies will be back at noon, so they will actually get the leftovers from the 8 a.m. squad. This year the Women's Championships switch times up. So now we have an 8 a.m. doubles, a noon doubles and singles. The 8 a.m. is doubles and singles as well. I just said doubles. My apologies. And then the 4 p.m. team event, which we are currently watching right now, and then 7 p.m. team event wraps up the day. So much like the Open next year, no bad times here at the Women's Championships. Great shot by Lisa there.
No bad times. It's always a good time when you get to hang out with Aaron Smith.
I am the fun one out of the group, so. Would have thought I'd get a dirty stare after that one. Ha! So off camera you can see a little bit of Kathleen Wiseman right now talking to Lisa. But the team kind of discussing what just happened there. 3 opens in the fourth. Need to get it back on track. Friscioni using her coaching experience. Looks like a ball change coming for Kathleen. A Deviate Diva Pearl out of the bag.
It's got to be helpful, Aaron, to have one of your teammates be such a great player and a great coach. So having that 2-for-1 full package. Stand back and keep an eye on things for you. Help you through the transitions and the ball selections, and then get up there and throw strikes.
That one comes in a little light. Leaving 2-4-5. So still working with her ball reaction right now. Back-to-back opens. so far. The fourth and fifth frame has not been the time of their lives. Staring at another open frame, my goodness. All right, great shot there by Perez to bounce back. Seems like we've said this a few times, but that's 4 out of 5 for Lisa Friscioni.
Well, it's probably part of the reason why she's in that anchor position. She can throw the big shots and the big strikes when needed, or just all the time, just for fun. And she's doing a great job so far here in 2014. Trying to lead her team. At this point, likely into the top 10.
All right, another ball change for Kathleen. Went to something with a little more surface. Possibly moving a little bit further right. Ball change for Toto as well. That one was to the right off her hand. Does not make it back to the head pin. These frames are quickly getting away from them.
Definitely some struggles here in game 3. Perhaps some transition. Definitely wouldn't say it's nerves at this point, given their levels of experience. Sometimes things just don't go well. And after games of 849 and 872, a nice overall performance. Still plenty of room for a strong finish and a respectable team event here from Time of Our Life. These are names that you might have heard before and definitely will hear again in the future. The next generation of women's bowling is here. Appreciate everybody joining us. This is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith bringing you the back half of game number 3 here on this afternoon team event at the Women's Championships. We'll be back all week. And there's another miscue by Perez. It's the second single pin miss we've seen in 2 frames here. Folks sharing their enthusiasm about this Women's Championships event. Of course, the format and venues have changed quite a few times in recent years. This year now going to 4-player teams for the very first time in nearly 100 years of history, as well as going back to an all-scratch format. It was handicapped there for a couple of years, going back to 2010 with the introduction of the new convention center setting. And things just didn't feel quite right. So back to all scratch, but more divisions. 4 divisions in the team event, 6 for doubles and singles. Bowlers of all skill levels welcome. The top division, 190 and above, and our lowest division, 129 and below. So definitely room for everybody to come out, have a good time, succeed, and earn a little bit of prize money. But a lot of the talk is just about the camaraderie and the environment, and just how much fun it is to come out here and bowl with your friends from home and meet new people. A little bit different environment and experience than you'd expect at the Open Championships, for example. A little more competitive there. But certainly a one-of-a-kind opportunity here, and this great facility, as Aaron mentioned, here at the Reno Sparks Convention Center. Then next year, the one-of-a-kind National Bowling Stadium. And in 2016, for the first time, the new $30 million arena at South Point in Las Vegas. So check out bowl.com for all the details and be a part of the future of the Women's Championships.
All right, Matt, middle of the 7th frame here, the finale. Doesn't look like Time of Our Life is going to have enough here in game 3 as the lane started to break down a little bit. Saw a few ball changes, saw a few folks move left, a few right. But overall put on a nice performance. As Lisa Friscioni gets ready to step up on 19. She's trying to put herself in a solid position tomorrow and make a run at all events. She leaves the 4-pin in the 7th. Oh. Have to get a score correction there. Marked it as a strike. It was good enough to be a strike. Scoreboard thought so.
Only that's how the sport works, right?
Scoreboard thought so as well.
How many times have I bounced one out of the gutter shooting at a corner pin and thought, man, that'd be cool if that was part of the strategy, if you could do that. It's like hitting it off the foul pole. It's a home run.
That is true. For some reason, the machine decided just to reset it there. Said she was knew she was good for the spare, unlike when we shoot at single pins when we suggest you should just reset it because we're going to miss it.
No argument here. I know that, I'm sure that crosses your mind when we're bowling league every time.
Just needed to happen one or two more times this last week that we bowled, but
I wasn't gonna bring it up. I don't feel that I'm particularly proud of my own performance, but it was enough to edge out the great Aaron Smith. So I don't want to be considered a minimalist, just doing a little bit that needs to be done. I like to go above and beyond, but certainly sneaking out that victory was actually secretly kind of awesome. But don't tell anybody.
I'll remember that when I leave and have you pack up all the equipment for the live stream after this. The woes continue for Toto here in Game 3, Creek Church. The lane is definitely opening up and causing some miscues here late in Game 3.
So 930 was the number they needed coming in. 130 over. Big effort and gonna fall short. But 2 solid games to start here. Gotta feel pretty good about that. And hopefully just the start of a great week here at the Women's Championships, not only for the members of A Time of Our Life, but for the members of this live stream team. We'll be here 4 more times. I know I've been talking to a few folks here via text and Facebook who are just now getting the chance to listen to our last broadcast. Zeke Bate, the defending regular singles champ over at the Open Championships. And everybody, of course, most likely enjoying their weekends. And I don't blame them for not spending it with us on BowlTV, but as they get home and get settled for their work week, we thank everybody who's tuning into those archived broadcasts. And you can go back and watch everything that we've done from Reno this year. A lot of great live streams from both events, nearly 30 by the time we're done. And we certainly want to thank Track Bowling, our big supporter and sponsor over at the Open Championships this year, helping to make this all possible. And already working on next year's live stream schedule, both for our national events and elsewhere. We'll be on the road quite a bit, as always. Lucas Wiseman, the Globetrotter, will be around bringing you events from around the world. Already talking about the World Youth Championships in Hong Kong coming up later this summer. And Lucas making arrangements for the World Cup.
Foundation frame underway here in the 9th. Spare for Wiseman. Goes back to that original ball she was using. Comes up light. Takes care of the bucket though. Great shot by Lisa there to set up the double for the 10th. It seems like she's been a little bit more around the pattern today compared to some of her teammates playing a little bit more direct angles. It certainly worked. She's the only one who hasn't experienced the third game blues here at the RSCC. hits aren't going your way. The hits aren't going your way. Pocket 7-10 for Wiseman in the 10th. $5.95 in the books for Wiseman. Nice 177 by Margaret Kloss. 1-1 open that game. Spot in the top 10 still available for these young ladies. I'm sure after the first two games they were thinking they'd be a little bit higher up, but still can do as much as they can here. They get ready for doubles and singles tomorrow.
And if you missed any of today's broadcast or would like to see one of the previous ones from this year's Women's Championship, certainly visit us on YouTube, youtube.com/BowlTV. Find the Women's Championships playlist and you can check those out. Otherwise, we'll be back on the air 2 days from now with another team event. A lot of exciting action planned from the RSCC. We're going to watch Time of Our Life wrap things up here in the 10th frame, looking for a big finish.
Showing their resiliency here at the end. Trying to put together a big 10th frame and get a spot in the top 10.
That was a 10th frame word right there. Resiliency. That was a big one.
A lot of syllables there. On runs high, leaving the 3-6-10. Better known on BowlTV as the Zeke bait.
I talked to him a lot this week about that, and he said it doesn't count unless you completely whiff it. But I don't know if I can buy that. I think if you just leave it, it should count. It's the Zeke bait, 3-6-10. And of course, I said that to him over at the Bowler's Journal, I believe it was, and I left the 247. I left the mirror image of the Zeke bait, and he said, no, you have to miss it. So I didn't miss it. I just chopped off the 2-pin instead. But
Attaboy.
yes. He doesn't know me well enough to expect that was what's going to happen.
That's true. All right, big first strike there from Lisa. That will get these ladies into the top 10. Looks like 24:18 was the mark. Heading into this team event. Of course, Lisa going to have a great series looking ahead to all events tomorrow. Great shot. You see that the college spirit still hasn't left these young ladies.
See, we didn't hear much chanting and cheering throughout the event today, but certainly here in the 10th, it's almost like I had to look up and make sure it wasn't April again. We were at the Expo Intercollegiate Team Championships.
All right, in the 240s, she's going to crack the 700 barrier. Have a chance to run down Joy Biondo tomorrow. Fantastic finish, 247. By my accounts, that's 709 for Alicia, 721 for the team, 24:42 overall. Sneaks him into the top 10, not quite the top 5, but still a fantastic performance overall. Brett Cunningham already hard at work getting the lanes ready for the squad coming up, so we'll go to the scoreboard cam. A quick rundown for time of our life. Lisa Friscioni leading the way, 7:09. Kathleen Wiseman, 5:95. Nicole Toto, 5:72. And Erica Perez, 5:66, gets to that 24:42 total. Their crossing team, Happy Feet and Flying, out of Hanover Park, Illinois, competing in the Ruby division, finishes up with 19:13. So Matt Cannizzaro, please take it away, sir.
All right, folks, that's going to do it from the Reno Sparks Convention Center today, this Sunday afternoon. We'll be back on the air 2 days from now, June 24th at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. here on the West Coast. Some strike it hot from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the nighttime team event. Until then, that's the news from now. We'll see you on the lanes.